This is a short story with zero editing that I started writing in a Discord server I'm in. Someone said it was getting late where they were and couldn't sleep, so I asked them if they wanted a story. Initially, it was going to be some silly 3-line go the fuck to sleep type thing, but for some reason I thought otherwise. Wasn't able to finish it because I'm pretty sure one of the mods got on me for text walling. The person who asked for the story wanted to see it finished though, so here it is. Can't say I didn't see myself eventually doing something like this. One night, under the midnight moon, a lone filly wandered through the streets of Manhattan. It was cold and so dark she couldn't see much. She was afraid. But her daddy always told her there was nothing to be afraid of in the dark, only her own imagination. Besides, she had a mission. Her friend, another little filly from her grade, left her doll when she came over after school. She knew her parents wouldn't like her being out so late, but she was sure they would understand when they knew the reason why. For now, they were asleep, and she was on a quest. Coming up on an intersection, she looked both ways, just like Mommy said, and continued on her path. At least she hoped it was the right way. It felt right from what she remembered. The street lamp was on, lighting up the street sign that the filly walked up to. Ashton and Concord, she whispered. This was right. She turned down Concord and made her way up the street. Then she heard a metal ding behind her. No, 3 metal dings, and they repeated. The dings were getting closer, but she couldn't see anything outside of the lamplight. She was scared. This couldn't be her imagination. Something was coming for her. So, she did the only thing she knew to do. She bit the doll off her back and began running in the direction of her friend's house. The dings sped up. In fact, there were 4 now, but the filly was too busy running to notice. She had to get to her friend's house. Her friend was never afraid, always brave. Another intersection, a quick decision. Left. She shouldn't be too far now, but the metal dings were catching up. It would get her any moment now. A gnome. It was her friend's house, and she hadn't known any other houses to have one. The filly made a quick turn, the thing almost on her, running up the walkway to her friend's door. No more dings, not on the soft grass of her friend's front yard. It was there, she could feel it. She dropped the doll and screamed. Hitting the steps, the ones she forgot about. Running full speed, the filly tripped and fell, head first into the door, making a very loud thump. Dazed and reeling, and under another lamp, she couldn't see anything. The doll! It was out there, with the thing. With nothing left to do, she cried, curled up on the doorstep of her friend's house with something after her, and the doll was out there, and she failed. Out of the window stepped a golden shod hoof. After it came a gray stallion in full armor, eyes shadowed over. The filly didn't notice him, so fretfully afraid. He laid an armored hoof on her shoulder. She looked up with a tear-streaked face. She glanced at the stallion before quickly changing her gaze to what may lay beyond the light. "Mister," she spoke shakily, "there's a monster out there. Did you get him?" The stallion shook his head. She looked up at him with wide eyes. "It's going to get us." Again, the gray stallion shook his head. He then lifted his hoof up and hit it against the ground a few times. Ding, ding, ding. The thing. It was him. The filly sprung up and rushed onto his leg with a tight hug. The stallion used his other hoof to pat her back. The door opened. A young mare beyond the threshold looked out. "What's all the noise going on here?" Her eyes quickly found her daughter's friend. "Oh my, what happened? Is she okay?" The stallion looked up to her and shrugged, then pointed to the filly. Carefully nudging the filly off, he turned her around to face the mare. The mare looked down at the filly. "What are you doing out here at this time?" "She left her doll from after school, and I know she can't sleep without it, so I brought it here for her." The mare's brows went up. Oh, sweetie. Well, thank you. But you didn't have to come here at this time to do it. Yeah, I did, the filly retorted, 'cause that's what friends do. Shaking her head, the mare waved her hoof towards the house. Well, come on inside. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. The filly quickly ran inside, leaving the guard and the mare at the porch. He reached back and pulled the doll off his back and passed it to the mare's magic. A worn little dinosaur. Thank you, she responded. From somewhere in the house came the filly's shout. Wait, the doll! Turning into the house, she called, I've got it, honey. Now quiet. There are ponies sleeping. Just before closing the door, she turned back to the guard, but he had left. She closed the door quietly behind her as she stepped into the house. Her night had only just begun.